We're sick. We're always in hospital because these Pakistanis are selling us rotten goods. And I go and check to look at how they enter the country and how they work and how this syndicate actually functions. I have a full understanding of how they work. I know how they move their money. I know how they get the money in and out. And I'll quickly explain it. What these guys do is they steal money from other nations and they move the money into cryptocurrency. They come into South Africa and through peer-to-peer exchange, they get South Africans to open up bank accounts and they move the money from crypto to our nation. It did not pass through the Reserve Bank. It's unregistered. It's unknown. That network amongst themselves, they move the money amongst themselves. When they are done, they move it back to crypto and they move it back into their own countries. They got in, they got out. Government doesn't even know they exist. When there's issues in the country, they are quick to move the money into crypto and leave. When they want to bring in more, quick, bring the money into crypto and function. They move volumes untaxed.
Cryptocurrencies are dangerous. We have to accept and acknowledge that.
Look, I think for me, the issue is not the cryptocurrency. The issue is a government that is not safe is a danger to itself. Because how do these Pakistanis come in? They leave through the fire hydrants at Wartambo. A whole syndicate that the minister is aware of, that the Hawks have a report on, that Maufiga, you book a plane to say, I'm flying to Dubai, but I'll fly through South Africa. You land through Emirates. When you are in the lounge, you say, you find a person, that person gives you the clogging card, you clog out, and you're in the country. Someone is waiting for you there. They meet you there. You open your cryptocurrency wallet account. You get a person on the side of the road. You open up a bank account for them. You put the money there and voila, you're functioning. Now, a government or a government minister go and explain to them how to deal with this issue. All they'll say is, Operation Dudula, we want to kill these people. You're killing people that are moving money. It's not going to work. Focus on the money. Get the money. How do you get the money? Now, that's where people like me can come in and say, oh, by the way, if you want to get these people's money, there's an easy way to get this money. Freeze this, that, and the other, and they won't be able to move. Because if you come into a country, you can't come in with...
South Africa has about 13.3 to 13.6 million registered vehicles. But the true number on the road is likely higher due to undocumented cars, fraudulent registrations, and gray imports. Gauteng alone accounts for nearly 39% of the national fleet, while weak enforcement of the NATA system has allowed syndicates and foreign nationals to exploit loopholes. South Africa's Viacon landscape. Registered vehicles, 13.6 million during the period of 2024 to 2026 data, according to NATIS and NAMSA. Passenger cars make up approximately 60%, approximately equals 8 million. Light delivery vehicles, approximately 20%, with the rest being trucks, buses, motorcycles, and trailers. NATIS, provincial distribution. Gauteng dominates with 5.3 million vehicles, 38.5%, followed by Western Cape, approximately equals 2.2 million. And KwaZulu-Natal, approximately equals 1.85 million. NATIS, ownership rate. South Africa leads Africa with approximately 50% of adults owning a car, compared to Nigeria, 35%, and Egypt, 33%. BIS community challenges with accuracy. Undocumented vehicles. Thousands of cars enter via Durban port under transit. Rules meant for neighboring countries, but are diverted into South Africa. Syndicates falsify VIN plates and clone license discs, creating a thriving gray market. Law enforcement has crushed thousands of seized vehicles to deter this trade. Auto Trader, traffic register numbers, TRNs, issued to foreign nationals without SAIDs. But investigations found over 1 million TRNs issued fraudulently. Many used to buy luxury cars, including Porsches, Ferraris, and Bentleys. Only approximately 2.7% of TRN holders matched Home Affairs databases. The Citizen, fraud syndicates, parliamentary probes revealed. TRNs duplicated within minutes across provinces, used as substitutes for visas, bank accounts, and vehicle purchases. ENCA, second-hand market, while Natus records ownership transfers. Many informal sales bypass registration. Platforms like Auto Trader and TransUnion track sales, but gaps remain. Auto Trader.
Guys, I don't know what it is, bro, but there's so many Nigerian O's in South Africa, in Cape Town, with so much money, bro. Like, I'm actually, like, genuine talk, I'm like, what the frick? Like, every single, like, car recently that I've been driving past, I've driven past a Ferrari, I drove past a freaking huge, lots of G-Wagons, and I was like, what the frick is going on here? Like, these O's are balling. They're living their freaking best life. Like, what do these O's do, bro? Like, what do these O's do? Are they in real estate? Are they in finance? What do they do, bro?
They think I can't do alone. So that's life.
You are called the king of Cape Town. Why are you called?
Many reasons, for big reason, a lot of reason. Can't just see that car I'm parking.
100%.
6 months now, no plate number. Nobody can try it in the
Crazy.
No, it's nothing. If you try it, they hijack you immediately. Me as a king, can't you see? The Gidiga, king of Cape Town, you sit there. It's heavy, man.
The rollie you're wearing right now. How much is the rollie you're wearing right now?
My bro, they buy them for me.
You're frocking on designers, boss.
Fashionista, I love anything fashion. I'm good in fashion, my bro.
I'm not a dancer, though. I can do anything to make money. I don't care.
When the clothing brand called Off Talk, yeah, what inspired the brand?
It's nothing much. Off Talk is everywhere already, so I don't want to cap about it. Sha.
What secret do you think you used to grow the brand?
Let me just say, believe and honest. When you believe in yourself, be honest with people around you. You know, everybody is doing clothing brand now, and I make it easy for all these young gains.
You see the car right here, 100%. What color the car?
I got this 1 million rands. You know, the day I bought this car, I got accident with it. Spent about like 150K.
What's the fixing?
Yeah, shout out to my guy, Pablo. If not for him, but don't scam himself.
Let me wait till after brother. What slide you wearing right now?
My guy brand 247.
How much is it?
Nah, it's a gift.
I see the eyes right here.
It's free though. Nah.
100%.
Whoa.
You are seeing me. Is that rolling? How much is it?
20K back then.
No.
Yeah.
Jeez. So that's big. That person broke watching this video right now. I want to go into fashion.
Any nigga we don't get car is a what? Any nigga we don't get car is a what? Is a nigga. Go buy car today. If you hear this video, go buy car today.
Guys, I want to drive a supercar, and I've seen a lot of Nigerian people driving supercars recently, okay? And like, I made a video about this, and people are commenting, Matthew, why aren't you talking about white people? Why aren't you talking about Asian people? Why aren't you talking about other people? But the reality is, I'm seeing so many Nigerian people driving supercars, bro. Like, yes, I see the odd white person, but most of the supercars, bro, those Brabus G-Wagons, the Ferraris, I've seen Lamborghinis, it's Nigerian people, bro. And I'm trying to build wealth. I want to drive one of those cars. And so I'm going to be honest. What are y'all doing? That, okay, people are saying some people are involved in a little bit of sketchy stuff. You can't tell me every Nigerian person that's driving these cool cars are doing that stuff. Like, you can't. So the Nigerian people that are actually doing good and are driving these crazy cars, can you please comment on these videos, bro? Because people are saying crazy stuff, like genuine talk, crazy stuff right now. And like genuine talk, people are saying I'm trying to do something, but I'm not. I'm trying to learn, you know? Like, I'm looking around when I'm driving. Who's driving the best cars? Nigerian people. So, guys, put me on.
Africa and global comparison. Country vehicles, millions. Ownership per 1,000 people. Notes: South Africa, 13.3 to 13.6 to 232, highest in Africa. Gauteng dominates. Nigeria, approximately 13, approximately 61, driven by used car imports. Egypt, approximately 6, approximately 60 to 70, concentrated urban ownership. Algeria, approximately 4, approximately 100 strong, used car market. Morocco, approximately 3, approximately 90, growing hybrid adoption. China, 469 to 330, 44 million NEVs, 30 million fully electric. Africa overall has 43 to 45 million registered vehicles, with South Africa alone accounting for nearly 1/3. Risks and implications. Data reliability. Official NATIS figures are robust, but fraudulent TRNs and grey imports distort the true vehicle count. Economic impact. Grey imports undermine South Africa's automotive industry, which contributes 5 to 7% of GDP. Auto Trader. Policy gaps. Lack of integration between home affairs and transport databases allows fraud to persist. Safety concerns. Unregistered vehicles evade roadworthiness checks. Key takeaways. South Africa leads Africa in vehicle ownership, but faces serious challenges with undocumented cars and fraudulent registrations. Gauteng's dominance highlights urban concentration, while rural areas remain under-motorized. Without stronger enforcement and database integration, the true number of vehicles on South African roads will remain uncertain. Grey imports in South Africa are largely vehicles diverted from transit routes through Durban Port, resold locally with falsified papers, and often linked to syndicates exploiting loopholes in the traffic. Register number TRN system. These cars bypass official import channels, undermining the domestic auto industry and creating major enforcement challenges. What grey imports are? Definition. In South Africa, a grey import is a vehicle brought into the country outside official manufacturer or dealer channels. Legality. Importing a car is not inherently illegal, but registering it for permanent local road use is strictly prohibited, except for narrow exemptions. Returning. Residents who own the car abroad for greater than 6 months. Inherited vehicles. Vintage collector cars greater than 40 years old. Specially adapted vehicles for disabled drivers. Auto Trader. How grey imports enter South Africa. Transit loophole. Thousands of used cars enter. Durban Port under transit. Permits destined for Zimbabwe, Botswana, or Lesotho. Syndicates divert them into South Africa. Fraud tactics. VIN plates are swapped, license discs cloned, and TRNs misused to create a false paper trail. TRN abuse. Parliamentary probes revealed over 1 million fraudulent TRN applications, often used to buy luxury cars, open bank accounts, and justify illegal stays. ENCA. Scale of the problem. Gray imports have become a multi-billion rand shadow market, with luxury SUVs and Japanese performance cars sold at fractions of local prices. Social media marketplaces and classifieds are rife with such listings, often promising to sort out Inati's papers for a fee. Auto Trader. Syndicates from Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Somalia, and Ethiopia are frequently implicated in TRN fraud. Risks and implications. Economic impact. Gray imports bypass ITAC and NRCS regulations, threatening South Africa's auto industry, which contributes 5 to 7% of GDP. Auto Trader. Safety concerns. These vehicles evade roadworthiness checks, insurance, and emissions standards. Law enforcement strain. Crackdowns have led to thousands of seized cars being crushed, but porous borders and weak interdepartmental coordination persist. Auto Trader. Policy gaps. TRNs are not linked to Home Affairs databases, allowing duplication and fraud within minutes of issuance. ENCA. Key takeaways. Gray imports in South Africa are illegal from local registration, except under rare exemptions. Syndicates exploit Durban port transit rules and TRN loopholes to flood the market. The government is under pressure to integrate TRN systems with Home Affairs and strengthen border enforcement. Buyers risk losing money and vehicles as authorities continue to seize and destroy illegally imported cars.
That's right. Yes, sir. I'm not going back. You're not going back. You're in the Maybach. I'm in the Maybach. You're not going back. You're in the Maybach. It's bouncing. That's right. You see? I'm a hamburger.
A few moments later.
South, do you remember a video of this guy who said, "They said we must go back. I decided to go buy a Maybach." Do you remember this video?
I decided to buy a Maybach. We are not going back. We are not going back. We just want a Maybach.
Well, I'm from the future. I'm from the future, and things are not looking so good for him. He just got hit by the sound that says "a few moments later."
Brand new Merc, no license, no registration. This car's going to be impounded.
Oh, I don't want to back. I'm very sorry. I don't know.
What are you really trading in? You're trading in something. It's just not crypto. And other things as well. Eh? It's supposed to be a white BMW.
We don't need to debate this with you.
So it turns out that this whole migration issue in South Africa is no longer a joke. Not a joke. The DA is heavily weighing in on it. A lot of people are saying, yeah, in Cape Town they don't act like this, in Cape Town they're not going to do this, but yeah. Guess what's happening today? Guess what's happening today? This isn't a joke. I think the sooner people take this seriously, the better for everybody. The sooner people start taking this seriously and not as a joke. Because some of y'all think it's a joke, and it's not a joke, guys. It's not a joke. South Africans are cleaning up their country. South Africans are cleaning up their country, and it's not a joke. Yo better be in good standing, Bafetu. Yo better have proper documentation.
Well, bro, and
Biggest mistake in life.
trust friends, bro.
All these years.
I believe in myself.
See you rocking on the sign. That's crazy. What do you have right there?
Every cap and puff.
How much you spend right there?
Not much, like I think 1 for something.
Whoa.
And I even have an expensive watch, but you know these boys I'm scared of pulling up.
How much is it?
I got it from bro, just check the price, but it's expensive. This is AP. I don't know, make sure. But it's expensive.
Someone broke watching this video right now. What's the best advice you want to give to the person?
Keep pushing, never give up. Believe in yourself, trust in God.
If you wake up in the morning, you lose everything you are having. How can you make it back?
Yeah, that can never happen. I know that I can never go broke in this life. I know where I'm coming from. I keep working every day, I keep pushing. I don't want to experience that broke part again in my life.
What's the amount to spend on designers this year?
I love dressing, I spend a lot.
What do you invest in this year that people overlook?
My apartment. So when I told her the money I spent on my solar, you're like, damn bro, you're lying. But my solar money like can buy a car.
Will you say you are the richest?
Me? No, I'm not rich. Like I'm not even close by. I don't have metal. I don't eye people. I just fucking believe in myself. I believe that no matter how much you have in your account, that's your money, not mine. If you have billions in your account, the little one I have in my account, like I fuck with that, bro.
Give me the best money advice.
Since I fuck with designers, like I would love to have good branding though. There's money in real estate. Like I never thought that I can make so much from real estate, but at the same time I spend a lot of, like that shit almost got me broke. Like, that shit almost got me broke.
So what's the highest amount of money you spend on a lady?
birthday. I think I spent about 200k.
Whoa. So that's big.
That's big.
Give them the best advice.
If you know you have been trying,
because these 3 days or 4 days. I mean, you still have her deposit and you are harassing her. No, but you've got her deposit. I mean, that means she's not owing you anything if she's got deposit.
If you don't want to pay, why don't you just move her?
No, she can't. She can leave. She could be staying on her deposit. You're holding her deposit and you're harassing her already.
Your deposit is available, like I told you.
No, but you should apply common sense. She doesn't have money. You are owing her deposit. You could take that deposit and put it as a monthly rent.
She gave me a fake alert.
No, but you've got her deposit. It means you owe her. She does not owe you.
We know that we are going to give her.
But you should apply common sense and say, before you harass and go to the police, you should say, I've got your deposit. Should I take your deposit and put it down as your renter? Why harass her then?
Then where does this one buy?
Sometimes he buys from me, sometimes he doesn't buy from me. He has other people.
Oh, he has other people. Okay, how old are you?
22.
22. Law 29. Aren't you supposed to be at school, understand?
Don't have money to go to school.
But you have money to buy a flight ticket and come here. Who brought you to South Africa?
Nobody.
Who paid for your flight ticket to come to South Africa?
I did, man.
How much was it?
3 million.
3 million?
In Nigeria.
Hey, well, 3 million. Oh. So you spent 3 million to come to South Africa.
Passport. Where is your passport? Where is your district? Where is your Ola? Tell them. Ola me. See, tell them. You are the ID. Everything. You are the ID. You say that I can't talk now. You see. That is my ID. Immigration. Police. This is my ID. It's one I'm spending money on it. You see. I know time is coming. Say, hey, stop Shebe, stop putting my daddy in any way I don't like. Because my daddy is not a criminal, he's a black citizen. This is my passport in South Africa. This is my ID in South Africa, you see. You see. You see. Tell them, yeah. Say, daddy is no longer going anywhere. Love my fans, I love you. At the same time, it's an confirmed daddy. Yes. You see. You see. Confirmed daddy, confirmed son. Yeah, no more going to prison again or home affairs. This is citizen of South Africa. I'm also citizen, you see. You see. Yeah, you see. A thing, you see. Yeah. Like and share to show them that I have a ID and passport.
Where are the other drugs?
Let's go to the other house.
You have drugs at the other house?
I have 2 houses.
Yeah? I want you to stop playing games. Yeah? Hey. We are sweating, it's very hot.
Hey.
So, hey, tell me, Chief. Are we gonna find more drugs at the other house?
You'll find it.
You'll find it?
Yeah.
You wanna give it to us?
Me.
How much did they deliver?
Maybe they deliver 300 or 150.
I have employed people from Zimbabwe probably for the last 20 years of my life. Yes, it's very sad what is happening to these people being taken out of our country because they are good people. They say that these people are taking South Africans' jobs, but the thing is, the reason why people employ them is because of their diligent work, because they are such hard workers, because they are just these beautiful people. They are very hard workers, very diligent, very neat, exceptionally smart.
Unale restaurant ko Mall of Africa. Bariki Cream Restaurant. Kaufela Pasebet. Kema Zimbabwe. So next week in Nadia Mo. Why why uyirile batho Zimbabwe fair. Urari ntoba yetsa. Auna a single South African.
Yes. A few moments later.
Foreigners are taking jobs from you and you say no, we want jobs that are taken from us by foreigners. The question is, which jobs are those? Which jobs are the foreigners taking? They are making us fight over jobs of security guards, over jobs of domestic workers, because those are the jobs that foreigners are taking from us, which is not what you want. You want quality paying jobs which will sustain your livelihood.
South Africa, I think most of this is, I think it's around my set that they started opening their eyes to like money. Even there's a new set that just came now from where? Dubai. Nigerian boys. They're in Cape Town now. They're just getting South African girls now. You understand? Just a South African girl just see you. Hey, how are you? What's up? I want to see you. Come to the club. This, that. Now they're making all this Cape Town, all those young kids. They can't even talk to their normal boys. Even OGs that have been here since. We can't talk to them now. If we talk to them, we'll be like, hey, how much are you giving me? Hi, bro. How did we get to that? You see, there's some new set of boys that are coming in.
My husband is a Nigerian. Of course, we cover everything with the blood of Jesus. And the foot is in our prayers. We bless God because Sam has done. My husband is a Nigerian. Of course, I own African print, no lacy for days. I love the sun the most. nabo abanye angakathungi angazi noma ngiyothungisa nini angiphathi nje ukuxolela Nkosi yami angazi ukuthi ngiyothungisa hlakwathini kodwa ngazi ngise Nigerian kenze njani When is a Nigerian, of course there is a thunder somewhere doing push-ups, waiting for a mumu who will come here with a negative comment. Ningswil, a thunder.
A Nigerian musician seems unbothered after crashing a 3 million rand sports car in Cape Town. On his Instagram, he wrote, "It's not a big deal as long as his manly parts are unharmed." CCTV footage of the crash has been trending, showing the moment Trigger lost control of his McLaren coupe in Cape Town. Earlier that same day, Trigger posted a video of himself dancing, wearing shoes that are quite large compared to what most humans would wear. While some social media users jokingly blamed the shoes for the crash, others pointed out that the CCTV footage suggests high speed might be the real issue. I am a journalist from South Africa, currently living in South Korea, and I bring in news from South Africa and all over the world. After the accident, photos showed the musician sitting on the street next to the car. He was wearing the same outfit from his dance video. On Instagram, he downplayed the crash by referring to his manly parts before thanking God. But not everyone is laughing. Many online users are questioning whether drivers of high-powered supercars should require special license, similar to truck drivers, given the risks. Cape Town police have also confirmed they're investigating the crash as reckless and negligent driving. Meanwhile, Trigger later posted a selfie with a bloodied forehead and nose, and he wrote, "Nah, small thing remain, could have all been over. I can't stop thanking God." What do you think about all of this? Do you think drivers of supercars should require a special license? And do you think drivers of these cars often speed more than they should on the streets? Let me know your thoughts.
This is when Yaupa was invented in this flag. It is on a high rise. This is where the problem started. Konala. Hillbrook, well known as the Sands.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are here as a Somali community. First of all, we are thanking our Somali community leaders who today try to bring us here for our cases for the SASAs, which has been discontinued for quite some months, to be listened and to be done something. But it appears from the SASA workers that we need a green ID. At first, we applied through status 4 years one, but eventually they are telling us we need a green ID. At this time, we are asking the government.
This is how your favorite spaza drink is made. Nice and tasty cool drink.
7 months.
I promise it's nice, my friends.
At this minute, where will I get a green ID? It's a procedure. It will take some time. We have children. We are refugees. We don't earn a lot. We have kids going to school. We have others going to university. We don't have much. So we feel the government must do something. We started with status 4-year one at first. We don't know why they are changing it to green ID. I don't know whether it's coming from heaven or wherever, but we feel it is a short notice to be told this kind of thing. So we feel we should be assisted. The government must hear our plea. The government must hear our problem. These are mothers. The whole day we left our family. We are fasting. We are supposed to cook for our families, but we are here. But it looks the SASA people didn't want to listen to us, asking us green ID. Where are we going to get green ID at this time? The government, the first time we started, it was started 4-year one. Why should they change it all of a sudden to green ID? And moreover, they knew they were coming to assist us. They could have given us those circular long time for us to know that it is required green ID. But when we come here, they say without green ID, they're not helping us. Please, we are asking the government, and especially Home Affairs. We started with status 4-year one. 4-year one allows us to study. 4 years one allows us to work. 4 years out is where our fingerprints is. So we're kindly asking the government to intervene because most of us are suffering. Most of us are not working. Please do something and help us. Thank you so much.
At the same time, I rather have some thousands of money to give. You know, sorry, but I'm being emotional. So I hope you allow me to say whatever I have to say. So what I wanted to say now, at least deliver a message for your police. They mustn't abuse us. Not meaning to say they mustn't do their job. They must do. Not in that way, abusing and beating up and telling us something, taking our stuff. Let me ask one question. Police station, have you ever seen any cigarette that which they collect from the shop and in police station? Have you ever seen? Where are they taking? Okay, we used to have a slip, like when we buy a cigarette, obviously we buy with a slip. We try to show them the slip, here we buy. Can I take you where I bought? Wholesaler, British, Cotley and Stevenson. Can I call or can you call and confirm, here is a receipt? Can you? They don't even give us chance. They just take that cigarette. When we go to the police station, no, they took my cigarette, here is the slip. Have you ever received my stock here? No. Where is it going? So what I say, please, I'm begging you behalf of this. We need rest and relief, I think.
Interfit and General Mkonasi, maybe you can also shed some light on this. This warehouse that we're in, do we understand it to be a place where some of these shops are buying from? What exactly does this serve as?
No, this is a shipping company. So these are the people who are bringing things into the country. So what we see, everything in this warehouse are things that have been imported into the country, and from here the importers who bought this, they're going to put them into the containers, into the trucks, train, and it's going to be delivered to their warehouses. That's where it's going to end. And from there then they're going to be selling to their clients.
And the items that you see here, I mean, I'm looking at this warehouse. Is it safe to say that most of these items are expired, or what sense do you get?
Yes, majority of it. Majority of it have expired. Quite a lot of it does not have expiry dates in any way. But the biggest problem is that it's a mixture of what you eat and what you don't eat. So you have medicine, you have especially this typical, which is a classic thing, this spice.
Yes.
It's a common spice that you find on the chips that majority of our children are eating from the township. They use this spice to spice them. Now we know there's a company in South Africa that makes them. But what we didn't know is that maybe someone else also make the same thing because they've got spices like this. And when this spice is put in those chips and it's packaged into those small plastic bag and it goes out to the tuck shops, you'll find that even the tuck shop owners that are selling the things don't necessarily know the whole route how this thing travel to get to them. So they're bypassing tax, they're bypassing the registration of products in South Africa in terms of health, because it's not been processed by any department. And it lands on the streets, it lands in the stock shop. Children's food, like this plastic bag. It's for kids.
Yeah. So mixed with antibiotics, alcohol, and chemicals.
It's in the same container. It's the same container and it's delivered like this. Look at sardines.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the same container. Chemicals, everything is mixed in the same container.
So these items that we're looking at here were traveling together?
These are samples of individual things that are in here amongst each other. So all in same containers. And like I said, this is just a warehouse of the person who imports. So it's quite a big warehouse. It's got different clients. Theirs is just to import. It's not necessarily them that are selling.
Yeah.
Leaders, good morning, commanders. Commanders, njengoba niyazi bana sibhizi ngombawa lapha eBelville kwe-informal traders. Oko sisehla sisenyuka no City of Cape Town. Namhlanje besine meeting 10 o'clock namhlanje apho besithetha malunga nezidene zalapha. Ama-foreigner commanders azawubuya ngolwesithathu. And azawubuya njena kuthiwa ama-foreigner ane-right document azawubuya on Wednesday. Kuthiwa bani City of Cape Town. leaders siyacela abantu base-Cape Town beze apha sifuna wonke umuntu azibuzele xa uCity of Cape Town ezawunika i-foreigner istand athi une-right document zeziphi ezi document anazo ingaba el-foreigner eli kuba line-work permit lithi malizotrade apha ingaba el-foreigner kuba linalo maphepha analo kufuneka li-overtake i-South African bangaphi base-South Africa bafuna istand apha e-South Africa abangazinikwa uCity of Cape Town bathi kuthiwa ama-foreigner makabuye uCity of Cape Town makasixelele uba yeyiphi le mali anikwe ngalo ma-foreigner ngoba kaloku kwathengisa ngelizwe lethu leaders siyacela wonke umuntu okwaziyo ukuza ngolesithathu eze sidibane lapha ebus terminal kwenzela sikwazi ubana sithethe nayo uCity of Cape Town asicacisele into yobana ngo-8 o'clock nowazingafika nge-2:8 because ngo-8 o'clock ndisho bazabeqalisa ukusebenza nge-2:80 siyazi ubana sesilapho okay ke
and ke ngoku into endifuna uba ndicela uba nisibuze lona kwiCity of Cape Town into yobana ngaba thina abantu base-South Africa funeke silinde for ixesha elingakanani ufumana ipemit because sibona ama-foreigner wona ekwazi ulinda i-2 weeks afumane ipemit because thina loo mpendulo leyo khangakwazi uyiphendula kwii-meeting zombini khangabakwazi uyiphendula loo nto injalo leyo.
bahlali baseGolsan bona MMC Zung isikhathi was 11:30 on Wednesday the 14th sorry we are back here at Middle Towers today not to talk or discuss anything but we're here to demolish. As you can see, our tailbees and trucks are here. We've given them enough time to self-correct, but they've not done that. And we've been coming here, speaking to them nicely, and they do not take us serious. So this morning we are just there to demolish as part of the court order. Remember, the court had said we must let them time, give them time to actually fix whatever they need to fix or remove whatever needs to be removed. They have not done that. So this morning we are here, not to talk, not do anything, but to demolish the structures here. Thank you.
No, we are missing you guys. You guys take our stuff. And then take our stuff. That's why, yeah. Where's the stuff? Yes. We are just asking you. Very polite. Very polite. We're asking you. Very polite. No, you know, I did say.
I'm the operational manager for KZN Bulk Buying. So in terms of the question, it has, there's two sides, there's a positive and there's a negative, right? The negative side is we were unsure that what would happen. I mean, from our previous experience of looting and stuff like that, we had to run our business down in terms of stocks and as far as possible be safe to avoid as much damage as possible if it happened to go that way. On the positive side of things, the whole march and the idea of obviously getting the local foreigners out, getting the foreigners out and the locals into business, that has basically upped our business because now I have a lot of locals that now coming through and shopping for the new spaza shops that they've been going out to.
So in your terms, you would say the business has grown in that term?
Correct, in that term. After the 30th of June, it has picked up slightly. Again, the locals have started coming through, a lot of new faces that are coming through and basically purchasing from us.
In terms of your guys' exports and imports, has it touched you guys in any way?
No, we haven't been affected with import and export.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it. Alright, everyone is keep asking, why don't Somalis want to identify as black? It's simple. The term black was never a word to begin with. Yeah. The term black, it didn't come from Africa. It came from America. Hello. right? It was designed to separate slaves from Europeans. It was not designed to celebrate identity. It was to control it. Yeah. So when Somalis came to the West, we didn't suddenly become black. We were labeled, all right, imposed, and we embrace it. Chill like that. Chill like that. Sheesh. Somalis had identity before race, all right? Our identity comes from our ancestors, not appearance. Yeah, all right? Blackness is a Western category. Somalia is a civilization. Big difference. We're Somalis. Chill like that. Chill like that. What's your thoughts on this?
30th of June is close and we're all waiting. I'm not scared because I'm legally in the country, and not only me, it's a lot, thousands of people are legal in the country. No, we never had, because this question, a lot of people ask the same question, but I always tell them we are under the protection of the government, and the government hasn't stated yet the foreigners or the Somalis or the Ethiopians must leave the countries. It's only illegal foreigners, and they're dealing with that illegal foreigners, so we leave that for the government. 30th of June is close and we're all waiting. I'm not scared because I'm legally in the country, and not only me, it's a lot, thousands of people are legal in the country.
Ujile uthi abantu bakweli mabayeke ukukholelwa kuba bona bathengisi bangaphandle bafaka ichefu ekutyeni abakuthengisayo. Uthi ayingabo abavelisa ukukutya abakuthengisayo.
The people need to know one thing: we don't manufacture anything. We buy everything from the wholesalers, and the wholesalers belong to South Africans. We don't make our own thing. We need the customers, and the customer need us. We can't be putting a poisons and we expect to make business, and we expect to live the area, to live in the area. So this is a politically, this is a clearly politically, and it is a lies. And things like that is happening sometime, and we know where it's coming from. There's individual people are trying to confuse the people, and this is clearly lies. There is no evidence. There is nothing like they have a proof, and we will never do something like that. As Muslim also, we're not allowed to sell any expiry or anything that got contaminated.
Uthi ngenxa yezi zityholo abanye abemi baseSomalia sele beziva bengakhuselekanga.
Can't be putting a poisons and we expect to make business, and we expect to live the area, to live in the area.
Now people move as far as Pakistan. It's far, my brother, Pakistan. Pakistan is far. People move from Pakistan. People move from Bangladesh. There's no war there. In Bangladesh and Pakistan, people come here and settle and have businesses and so on. Somalia has collapsed. There's no country there. And then Mogadishu, there's no country there. They pass every place straight and establish shops here. If you go to Kabeja, they've got a city there, they've got guns. You won't even come close there. Somalians. Undocumented. Now, these are issues that we must address, and we're addressing, so that our country live in peace and all of that. In terms of this.
We can't allow them to bafe njengathi kufa impungane bese siyathula asenze nexus umphakathi.
Coming up on the programme, community members demand justice for the children who lost their lives after consuming contaminated food from spaza shops in 2024.
You struggle first. To get any sort of funding from our government, you really struggle. They require so many documents, and that costs a lot of money.
And later, will the support for spaza shop owners enable them to surmount the bureaucratic red tape required to support their businesses? We'll explore this on Case in Point. Well, in 2024, at least 23 children from different parts of the country died as a result of poisoning after eating snacks purchased from spaza shops. Further deaths occurred in the ensuing years, seemingly due to toxic pesticides. But despite a range of investigations, no one has been held responsible for any of their deaths. Sebe Buthelezi went back to Naledi in Soweto, where 8 children died.
abantwana bethu laba, we can't allow them ukuthi bafe nje ngathi kufa impungane bese siyathula asenze neaccess umphakathi.
She started vomiting inside the house, and my son came out running to me, shouting for me, "Daddy, Daddy, Monica is vomiting foam."
For Joseph Sateghe, the 6th of October 2024 is a day forever etched into his memory. He vividly recalls rushing his 6-year-old daughter, Monica, to the hospital, but had no idea it was the last time he would see his baby girl alive.
By the time she got to the hospital, she was declared dead.
She was one of at least 8 children from Naledi in Soweto who died that month after allegedly consuming snacks bought from a local spaza shop. In 2024 alone, at least 23 children across South Africa died from suspected food poisoning linked to hazardous pesticides and snacks bought from spaza shops. Then Health Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi identified the cause of death.
All the 6 children died of Tepifos ingestion. Toxicology has proven that the actual cause of death is organophosphate and not carbamate.
These are highly toxic agricultural pesticides meant for farming. As outrage grew on how these chemicals ended up near the children, police launched investigations and were pressured to make arrests.
We found 4 individuals who were subsequently arrested. The question is, what for? The suspects were arrested and charged for selling, amongst other things, fertilizer, farm feed, agriculture remedy, stock remedy, not registered.
The suspects were later released on warning and paid a 2,000 rand fine each. To date, despite inquest dockets being opened into the deaths of dozens of children, nobody has been prosecuted, and the tragedy has not stopped. More children have reportedly died in 2025 and 2026, allegedly under similar circumstances. For activists in Naledi, the pain remains raw and they feel let down by authorities.
Even today, sinabazali abasana trauma. They said they will offer parents ama therapy, counseling. They only were there because of this thing was all over social media. This thing was booming around. But now, where are they?
The funerals ended, the headlines faded, and it's back to regular programming, says Shoba.
The shop is still operating. The shop was closed only for that period. And then now everything is normal, but parents are still hating.
And nearly 2 years later, communities are still demanding answers.
Abantwana bethu laba, we can't allow them ukuthi bafe nje ngathi kufa impungane bese siyathula asenze neaccess umphakathi.
Charlie was fed by strangers on the street, while his own lived in luxury and left him to starve. Years later,
While children continue to lose their lives, one question remains: who will ultimately be held accountable? Sebe Buthelezi, case in point.
Well, we invited the Health Department, the Economic Development Department and the National Consumer Commission onto the show, but they were all unavailable. Let's bring into the conversation, however, our guests, Siyabulela Pendani, a specialist lawyer in the area of environmental and health law, and Dr. Samantha DeLange, an environmental health advisor. Welcome to you both. Very good to have you in studio with us today. So, Dr. DeLange, I'm going to start with you. Our understanding is that the deaths were attributed to the organophosphates, as was said in that insert, and we know they shouldn't be stored near food. But what is required to ensure that owners of spaza shops are registered with municipalities, first of all, and they comply with food hygiene rules?
So your spazas have to comply with, yes, with the regulation, the 638, which is basically looking at structural requirements, and also there's certain things where they have to make sure that they do have the necessary pest control in place and things. But the problem with the legislation is that the legislation is there and it's great, but it doesn't, there's no actual policies and guidelines to back up that legislation. So the other side of it as well with your spazas is that they are often informal, and they are just maybe on a corner somewhere. We all know where, how they spring up and what happens. But we also have town planning requirements that will say we want this in this area and we only want so many of these and we need it for these certain reasons. There's building regulations as well. And all of these are, they seem quite onerous, but they are there to protect the public, to protect the communities, and obviously the people in the buildings and so on. So there's a lot that needs to happen for something like that to be compliant and to come about.
Well, from a practical point of view, in terms of how you store items, should there ever be a situation where organic items, food items, are stored alongside pesticides, and what law prevents that from actually happening?
Yeah, I mean, your food regulations, your regulation 638 will prevent that anyway, because you need to ensure that your food doesn't get contaminated by anything else. I mean, that's the whole purpose of food safety. So they should never be stored next to each other. And I must be honest, I'm not 100% sure that this is always the problem with these cases of poisonings and things. I don't think it's a case that things are stored right next to each other. I think it's a case that often these poisons get used in the shops for the purpose of pest control, and because they're not being used by somebody who is registered to apply, and they're not even actually a rodenticide. Those these organophosphates that are being used, that are being found, are actually what we call a nematicide, which is for insects and worms and so on. That's normally used in agricultural spaces. So, but it's very, very effective to kill rats. So that's why it's being used in an informal side. So I suspect that in a lot of cases, that because it's little granules, they get spread around the shop, for example, and then the foodstuffs get piled on top of it. And that's what happens then as children, for example, would buy maybe a packet of chips. They are going to eat it, it's on their hands, they obviously are touching the packaging and eating, and that's how they will ingest it. It's not, none of us actually know exactly how this happens, but it's not a case that it's not as cut and dried as saying, walking in and saying, oh, you are definitely going to find a Ratex next to your loaves of bread. Yes, it can happen, but that's not the norm actually. I think it's more almost, in a way, not accidental, but it's
incidental.
I think,
Interesting, very interesting indeed. Mr. Bendani, I see the National Consumer Commission also launched into a flurry of inspections in the areas where the children died. They apparently found widespread non-compliance with the law, including expired food, incorrect labelling, food that had been stored alongside poisonous chemicals. I mean, don't there need to be routine inspections carried out regularly to ensure that the spaza shops are compliant?
Okay. Look, the issue of the spaza shop and the mushrooming of the spaza shops within the Republic of South Africa is purely a symptom of a system failure in government as far as it relates to food safety. It's a system failure. Let me explain to you why I'm saying so. The Municipal Health Services, which is defined by the National Health Act and containing its definition, food safety, is a responsibility and obligation of the district municipalities to ensure that they protect their population against the factors that might likely to have an effect to their human life.
Right.
And that is a constitutional right of the population. And this constitutional right must be protected by the district municipalities. How do they do that, the district municipalities? The Health Act is very clear that they must do this through a process of monitoring compliance and also enforce compliance.
How do they do that?
But within now the Republic, you have a situation whereby you've got 60% municipalities in the district municipalities, which only monitor but do not enforce compliance because they do not have systems in place to ensure that these compliances is being enforced. How? How do you enforce compliance? By ensuring that you prosecute these non-compliant premises, and you are to bring these people before court. But for you to bring these people before court, you ought to have a system to bring this person to the court. Sometimes it's through Section 56 notices in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act. Sometimes it's through Section 54 of the Procedure Act to be able to bring these people to before the court. But now you've got these municipalities who necessarily do not have system in place. That's number one. Now, the other aspect of it, which they are running away from it, the real people who are to enforce this health legislation are environmental health practitioners. They are running away from the fact that, and acknowledge the fact that this service needs to be funded. There's inadequate funding as to ensure that you've got more environmental practitioners that are going to enforce this legislation and protect the population. It's a duty of the district municipalities to do that.
Are you saying there aren't enough on the ground? There aren't enough inspectors?
Literally, there's not enough on the ground. And you've got more of them sitting at home unemployed than you have them on the system, because they are saying on the system, no, we do not have funds. I'll give you an example here in Gauteng. Here in Gauteng, you've got the Citibank district municipality. Citibank district municipality is supposed to be providing the service of municipal health services in that district and protect this population against these health effects that are rising from these bother shops, that district. But that district is still operating on the service level agreement with local municipalities. Its EHPs are not at the district but at the local municipalities. Now, there's going to be a legislative disjuncture there, because the service belongs to the district. It's the one that has to develop legislative framework and bylaws to protect its population. And the local municipalities is not their service. They will simply say, no, we're waiting for the district to be able to absorb you, or you dissolve to the district. So the population of the Vaal area are exposed in that area. Its EHPs cannot enforce the law. They can only go to the shops and only issue notices and issue reports. Those bother shops got used to that. They know they can't buy it. All they can do is to arrive here, issue a report, nothing further than that.
So essentially they'll continue as they have, without any kind of legal consequences, Mr. Lange?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When there's no pathway, as advocates is explaining, you know, you cannot take someone to court. You can't just say, oh, okay, I'm a peace officer, I can take somebody to court, or I can write a fine. It's fine, right? You can maybe write a fine, but you can only write a fine if the municipality has actually taken those fines and put codes next to those fines, so that when it's written into the fine book, it has a code that works it. And that's the whole problem, is if they haven't done that for that piece of legislation, and it has to be done per municipality. And if it isn't done, and those are things that national and provincial health, as the overseers, should be ensuring that the municipalities have these systems in place. But just to give you an idea, when we were speaking about EHPs, that there not being enough of them, just to give you some figures on the spaza shops themselves, and remember, this, you know, we're very quick to say spaza shops, but this problem is not spaza shops, it's actually all food premises, actually. But the EHPs, we have probably close to 5,000 on the register, registered as EHP practitioners that can practice independently. But of those, there's probably not quite 2,000 in the local authorities. Now remember...
Is that across the country?
Across the country. Now, Advocate has already explained that it's the local authority that actually does the work. They are the people on the ground. So there's 2,000. The WHO is asking for 1 EHP for every 10,000 of the population, so do those maths.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's what we know or what we suspect, what studies have shown, is there's between 150,000 to 200,000 spasas. Of that, when they registered last year and the year before, when the government asked for registrations, 85,000 about registered. Of those, I think there are less than 10,000 that are fully licensed and compliant. So
legalizing them in the first place is going to be an issue, and that's not to speak of the ones coming in in the future. Just a quick question before we go to our ad break, Dr. De Lange. There's a sense that the health inspectors are focusing largely on the established businesses rather than the spaza shops, rather than the vendors. Is that your perception or your experience on the ground?
I think that we do look at the informal sector, what we like to call the informal sector, which is your spazas and so on. But it's quite a difficult one to apply the legislation because firstly, we don't have the systems in place, and secondly, you can't take someone's livelihood away, and everything that we ask for is going to cost you money. So it puts it in a very, you are in a very difficult situation. So I wouldn't say that people don't, it's not that they don't get the inspections. Oh, and of course on top of that you've got hundreds of them. So to get through everybody is almost impossible. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say that we are necessarily not concentrating on the informal, but it's quite hard to apply the legislation and then get the person into court and fine them and so on, and then what happens there?
Right. Well, we're going to take a short break now. When we come back, we look at the host of probes into the children's deaths and find out whether anything at all came out of them. Stay with us.
Never, and I mean never, ask, how was your weekend?
How was your week?
Welcome back. We continue our discussion on the public outcry following the deaths of more than 20 children who consumed contaminated snacks at spaza shops in recent years. Advocate, 4 arrests made in relation to the children's deaths initially. Why were those 4 suspects only charged with having toxic chemicals in their possession, but not with storing them incorrectly?
In the first place, they were not supposed to have had them, because such products are controlled by the Fertilizers, Agricultural Commodities and Livestock Commodities Act 36 of 1947. It's a controlled substance that is supposed to be registered first before you can have it in your possession. So they were never supposed to have it in their possession in the first place. And these are means that they are using to control pests, which they view as cheaper means, but very dangerous to human health. And as a result of that, I still believe that they should not have only be charged if there was any link between the death of the children, the organophosphate that is found in the premises, and that they ate the food directly in those premises. To me, those people should not have only be charged only with that, with being in possession, but also culpable homicide or murder, because someone died as a result of a negligent action of someone who stored a product that was not supposed to have been there in the first place, whom is not even permitted by legislation to have that product in the first place. Because if they were to deal with issue of pest control is a separate issue, whom a registered professional, they must be able to hire that professional to be able to provide those services for them.
So presumably charges should have been laid and should have been pursued.
Indeed.
Why weren't, to your mind, why weren't they?
I will not know, but there's a lot of factors that will have came through, because you'll find out that the environmental practitioner will have to also go to the premises, collect the sample of the food that was eaten by the children, and also link that food that they ate to the organophosphate, send it to the lab, have a test, and were those tests positive, that of the food that was eaten by the children. So there's a lot of variety of issues. more than the post-mortem result that they came and said is positive. But now you should be able to link it to the shop that allegedly the food came from.
And this is a tough one, Dr. Lange, because I mean, informal businesses spring up in South Africa all the time. They are permitted to do so. That has been tacitly allowed. So how easy is it to hold people to account in an environment like this, where the informal sector is a big part of our economy?
Yeah, I think that is the problem. It is very difficult and very difficult to trace exactly where the source of it is. But at the end of the day, everybody who is using that specific, what do they call it? Khaliperini? Yes, that's what it's called on the street. Anybody that has that is automatically guilty. And they should be held to account. And so when you wonder who is responsible for this and who is doing it, it is the person that is buying it off the street. It's the person selling it on the street. It's the person that is using it in their house, because that happens often. I mean, when you buy it off the street for 10 Rand, they will tell you, oh, put it in a bowl of food and then put it under your bed and you'll see the rats will die. And yes, the rats will die because it's extremely toxic and extremely poisonous. But to control it is very, very difficult, and as one and also, you know, when you start going through these shops and start inspecting at one end of the street, by the time you get down to the bottom end of the street, they have closed up. But you know, so there's a sense. There is a sense that, you know, we are stocking products that are illegal. Well, you have to know that. I mean, there is nobody. You cannot possibly think that this. Everybody knows that this. Anybody on the street will tell you, oh no, yes, it is legal, but you know, it really works. Yes, it does really work for that rat that's dying right there. But the other 5 rats who are very clever, when they see it, they're not going to eat that stuff anyway. So, you know, it really is a mess. It really is.
Advocate, I mean, is there any further compensation allowed to their family, to the families? Is there any route the families could follow at this point to still get justice, or to press government to ensure that there is some kind of prosecution that takes place?
Look, they also have a civil remedy available for them. They can, as much as they were to, if there's a link between the spaza shops and the food, and it's proven that the death arose as a result of that. Look, they've got a lot of remedies. One, they can also sue for damages the owner of the spaza shop, together with the district municipality that spaza shop is operating under, because that district municipality, in terms of Section 7 of the Constitution, has an obligation to ensure that the right of that community, as enshrined in Section 24 of the Constitution, to be protected from factors that might affect their human health. Indeed, that right is guaranteed and is happening. And whose responsibility to ensure that? It is the municipalities, and ensuring that they hire more environmental health practitioners to protect the population and ensure that there is compliance within that area. If it can be proven that the municipalities have neglected its own role in relating to ensure that, one, they monitor, and not only monitor, but they enforce compliance within these scrupulous businesses who seek to kill children with this poison, then you will be able to succeed with that.
You know, it seems to me there's a certain level of education that also needs to take place, Dr. Lange, and I don't know how we go about this in communities, but clearly we are not conscious, and this might have happened, but we are not conscious of education in terms of what children need to know, what families need to know, you know, anyone interacting with spaza shop owners or buying from them. Give me a sense of the level of education that does need to take place so people can protect themselves and their families.
Yeah, you know, you want to start basically with the school children, letting them, one of the most basic things they could do is just wash their hands all the time. That would be very helpful to prevent a lot of diseases. But you can start there. You can start with the parents what they should have in their house, what they shouldn't, how they should store things. You need to educate people like the SAPS, the police, because these poisons should be treated the same as what drugs are treated. They should be able to recognize them, because you can go to any informal traders, taxi ranks and things. If you look on the table and you look carefully and you know what you're looking for, you will find the organophosphate in the little bags that they are selling. So those should then be, I mean, you're not going to let some drug dealer stand and sell heroin in the taxi rank, are you? So you're going to arrest them. It's the same thing. But if the police don't know what they're looking for and why they are looking at it, and the fact of the matter is it should never be there because they're not registered for it, and so on and so on. So that needs to be educated. It's just all the way through that you need to get this education going, so that everybody can actually have their eyes on this, and for people to take responsibility and understand that the moment that they may be out of desperation by this, they are committing an act, an illegal act, and not to mention potentially, possibly murdering somebody by accident. You know?
It's a horrific thought indeed. I'm going to give you the last, say, a quick one, please, advocate, for families that are watching this right now, communities, people who've lost family members in these tragedies. What is their legal recourse next, if you were to advise them?
If I were to advise them, they must think of either claiming for damages that some of them were sick and went to hospitals, and they suffered what we call the medical bills as a result of that. But specifically, it must not only aim at the spaza shop as they will run, but in those municipalities in which they form under. Equally, those who lost the children, if indeed they can also show that there is a link between the food where the children were consumed and the death of the children, it is known in law as a wrongful death claim, which they can always have, but usually it gets to be compensated in general damages because of the shock, pain, and the suffering that they will suffer as a result of the loss of their children. So equally, they can have that claim against the very same municipalities who ought to have protected them by ensuring that there are systems in place, and ensuring that there are practitioners, and ensuring that they fund the program that seek to protect the population in which they are serving. And equally, maybe those suits will make them to have a political will to be able to fund the services of municipal health services, and also fund the environmental health practitioners to be available on the street and protect the population.
So grateful for your insights. Thank you so much, Dr. Lange and Advocate Pendani. Very good speaking to you. Thank you so much for your time. Still to come on Case in Point, from safety to prosperity. Government has committed 500 million rand to shoring up the local spaza shop industry. We'll look into what it takes to qualify. Stay with us. South Africa's 500 million rand spaza shop support fund is currently facing major hurdles. It's hampered by rollout delays, red tape and allegations of fraudulent fronting. The Department of Small Business Development has disbursed only a fraction of the allocated budget. Delays are largely driven by shop owners struggling to secure municipal business licenses and compliance certificates. Local shop owners are also complaining of drowning in red tape. Yulisa and Jamela compiled this report.
Ramukhache Peter Makgotla is a spaza shop owner in Soweto. He has poured his life into his spaza business since 1995. For nearly 3 decades, this shop has been his sole livelihood.
Because my father is a mechanic.
It was just a shack here because my father was a mechanic and sold cars. So there were engines all over here. I put all those out because they were no longer in use. I then put in my stock. I started this spaza with 1,000 rand, and it just kept growing and growing. We didn't have foreign nationals there. It was just us.
But the situation changed as the informal sector opened up. He says, along with local owners, they found themselves undercut by foreign-owned shops. Mokgotla argues that the playing field is entirely uneven, leaving local businesses desperate for the government support they were promised.
This one came 1-2. Come on next door. I can just spaza a drop the price. Now,
when this one came here, he immediately dropped the prices. The aim was to make sure that I fail because my prices are higher. And so it happened that I struggled. I closed the shop about 4 times and reopened it. I was determined to make this work because I don't want to work for anyone else. They're able to manage because they have their own organizations that fund them. If their shops are looted, in just 2 days, they have full stock. For me, if they come and loot here, I'd be in trouble because we don't get assistance from our government.
After many years of local businesses complaining against unfair competition, tensions escalated in 2024 when children died after consuming toxic snacks from spaza shops across the country. As part of its response, the government introduced a number of interventions, including a 500 million rand cash injection to support them. Despite this, Mokgotla believes that the multi-million rand pledge amounts to little more than lip service. Instead of offering a lifeline, he insists that red tape is locking out the very people the fund was designed to save.
Government erona, you struggle first.
To get any sort of funding from our government, you really struggle. They require so many documents, and that costs a lot of money. Now, they've just introduced another one that says we should go register again at the municipality. All that costs money. I've now spent over 6,000 rand. What about those who don't have? In my case, I've done everything that was required and submitted everything and paid. At the end of everything, they wanted the title deed of this house I'm operating from. It belongs to my parents, so I don't have it. They said I must go get a letter from the executor. When I went, I was told I needed a lawyer. The lawyer told me getting the whole process would have to cost me about 60 to 70,000 rand. Where would I get that money from? You can see that the government just wants to make things difficult for us from getting the funds, while foreign-owned nationals have full support.
I don't understand when these people banally support the organizations so simple.
South Africa is estimated to have between 150 and 200,000 spaza shops, reportedly with 87,000 shops recorded. The rest, like Mokgotla, continue to battle for survival. They say they feel abandoned by the Department of Small Business Development. Yuri Sanjamela, case in point.
So let's find out what goes into the process of qualifying. We're joined now by Deputy Director General of Enterprise Development, Innovation and Entrepreneurship at the department, Nisile Delwa, who joins us online, and the Head of Business Development at the South African Spaza and Tuck Shop Association, Sibusiso Ngobo. DDG, good evening. I'm going to start with you. You've heard the laundry list of requirements there, and I think for any business owner, particularly a small business owner, these administrative hurdles sound completely onerous. How do they overcome them?
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. I think it's very important to just clarify that for the Spaza Shop Support Fund, the requirement is a business license, and it was a business license because of the need to ensure the health and safety of the consumers and the citizens, because spaza shops are considered food handling businesses. However, when we realized that the process of getting a business license is onerous on the spaza shop owners, we did look at alternatives. And one of the alternatives is an opposite license, which is provided for in the Business Act, that you can issue something like certificate of acceptability or a special permit to a spaza shop owner so that they can continue to trade and be eligible for the fund. And we have encouraged municipalities to consider these. There is also an option of a conditional license to make sure that once the spaza shop meets the health and safety requirements, they can be given a conditional license pending the fund being available to them so that they can resolve other infrastructure problems that they may have. So this is a way from the department to try and assist the spaza shop owners to deal with the hurdle that they have faced with the business license.
DDG, where are these licenses supposed to come from? Are they coming from the municipality?
That is correct. In terms of the Business Act, the municipalities are designated as authorities to issue these business licenses.
But on other occasions, I've interviewed spaza shop owners who say that they've been waiting for massively long periods of time to actually procure those. So the municipalities are not able to respond in an agile manner. Some of them are waiting for 6 months to a year to be able to get those licenses. How do you work around that?
Shine, shopping online.
Yes, indeed. We try to encourage, we work very closely with municipalities, especially where we have received an application, because you would find that the spaza shop owner has met all the requirements and all they are waiting for is an outcome from the municipality of the business license application. And so we work directly with municipalities in those instances to try and unlock that. It's not an easy process because most municipalities, in terms of their business licensing, are still using a manual system. And so the process takes a bit of time. Hence, we have decided over the year that we've started the fund, we do a lot of road shows where we individually go to municipalities and have road shows where municipal workers are there. We are there with SIDFA, who's managing the fund, and try to unlock some of the problems at the point at which spaza shop owners are applying for those licenses. Right. But we are the first to admit that it's a very difficult process, and that is why we are introducing the revision to the Business Act in the form of the Business Licensing Bill to try and standardize and deal with some of this red tape across the municipalities.
Right. So, Mr. Ngobo, do you agree that, of course, the legislation has to be in place to make these legal spaces? Having said that, do you agree that government is doing all it can to accelerate the process so that these spaza shop owners can start their businesses?
I'd like to differ. Good morning to the viewers at home, and good evening, afternoon, DDG. I'd like to differ on that point because I think 2 years ago, when the regulations were put in place by Minister Velenkosi Hlabisa, with an iron fist coming upon spaza shop owners and saying that they need to comply within the set period of time, and the extension was given. During the period of extension of 2 months, we had made all sorts of pleas and cries that this period will not be enough because we have structural failures and we do not have the adequate support. And I quote, Minister Velenkosi Hlabisa said they will deploy 520 environmental health practitioners in the 52 districts, which means it's 10 per district, and 15 health professionals, which, if you look at the number of tuck shops and the number of food handling outlets, they were already out-capacitated. So also on the point on
the administration.
On the point of the temporary license or interim license, we are engaging with municipalities, different municipalities, but what we are getting from them is that there is no policy and guideline that is allowing them to be able to issue those temporary permits. So there is no clear policy and guideline from the department. So those are what the issues are dealing with. The local departments, the local economic departments are trying their best, but when there is no clear guidelines, how will they issue permits? And then also the issue of city and development town planning, they are nowhere to be found. They have the lowest response rate, and how can then we fulfill their full requirements? And we must remember that this initially was not about the 500 million rands. It was about putting regulation into a place and trying to find a system to bring back an economic identity for South Africans, because their market share was not regulated and their business space was not protected. We hear some politicians say we are fighting for crumbs. These are not crumbs. Many business lessons that are implemented in big organizations start from small businesses in the township grassroots level. So number two, we as the South African Spaza Shop and Tuck Shop Association say we are engaging with local municipalities. We urge DTG and all the others to give clear frameworks, because this happened in COVID. There was no such a hurdle. There were temporary permits that were issued because there were clear guidelines that guided the municipalities in issuing them. So I think for now I'll hold it there, but there is that challenge. For example, we have a situation whereby the local economy has been overrun by people from different countries. This sector was supposed to be protected for South Africans, because even when the government and even when the small business or all the entities that support small businesses say they will support South Africans, but the entire framework of the economy is overrun by people who are not documented and who are not compliant. So we have to be mindful of the fact that this 500 million fund was designed to assist South Africans, but the regulation has even now stopped private investors from investing in this township economy, because it's a lucrative economy. Yes. But now, never mind the 500 million, now the private funders that we are trying to bring into the township to assist cannot assist, because they say, look at the red tape. Look at everything that is happening. So how can we as private fund invest in you when you are not compliant? Never mind the 500 million.
I mean, there's some important questions being raised here, DDG, and the two things I'm hearing from Mr. Ngobo right now are the fact that government may not have effectively communicated to the municipalities the urgency of this and what needs to be done in terms of supporting these small business owners with getting these licenses. But also, I mean, you seem to be quite dependent on other departments that appear to be fairly incompetent in delivering what these spaza shop owners need to get their businesses going.
Your resume gets you in the room. Your sentences get you the job. You ready?
Let me address the first point. There is an interministerial committee that is chaired by the Minister of Cooperative Governance and the Minister of Health that has been set up, I think, since November 2024. It meets regularly, and in this forum, all municipalities and provincial departments of COGTA and economic development participate. It's a structure where these matters are discussed, and it's a structure where we have presented to municipalities a proposal on what I have said, that they issue opposite licenses and that also they consider conditional licenses. In addition to that, the Minister of Small Business Development has written formally to all mayors in the country communicating the same message. So I just want to clarify that the message from the Department of Small Business Development has been consistent at official platforms and in official writing. So it is concerning when there is a view that there hasn't been a clear message to municipalities from the Department of Small Business in terms of what needs to be done.
So DDG,
I think that's...
Yeah, sorry, may I come in there simply because we're up against the clock here. But may I ask you, I mean, clearly Mr. Ngobo is telling us, and the amount dispersed seems to actually reflect that there is some level of incompetence here at work. How many South Africans have been funded to get these spaza shops off the ground, and what percentage or what amount of your 500 million rand allocation is that? Does that account for?
As the current figures that we have disbursed about 58% of the fund. I must be very specific because the fund, as you know, it's handled by two departments, the DTIC and the Department of Small Business Development. The Department of Small Business Development, through SIDFA, is disbursing about 150 million for stock. And the rest, 350, is by the DTIC. I can confirm that the SEDFA has disbursed close to 83 million of the 150 million that has been provided for, which is close to 60% of the fund that the department has provided for this program.
All right, so we're going to continue the discussion in a moment. After this short break, we ask, what does it mean for local spaza shop owners to be brought into the formal economy, and what about the dangers to sustainability like extortion? We'll find out more after the break. Welcome back to our continuing discussion on spaza shop funding. Mr. Ngobo, I understand when government officials went out to do site visits, over 350 applications were halted because some of the applicants attempted to engage in fraud. Can you confirm that there are dishonest people who are making this process more difficult for government?
Yes, I can confirm that, because even when the registration process was initially announced, we were aware that there were some people who wanted to front and access the fund on behalf of South Africans whilst they were not South Africans. So we are quite aware and we know, but we commend the municipalities because most of that has been prevented, and we see that the fronting has stopped because it was causing an unrest amongst communities. I would say case in point, I'm very impressed with the Buffalo City municipality because they went out in 2024 and 2025 and actually did a physical study on how many tuck shops are there, how many are foreign owned, how many are South African owned. So they had the stats. Out of the stats, they knew that 1,410 were foreign owned and 210 out of the were South African owned, and they knew that these are the people that we need to assist and help. So I think that is a step other municipalities can take to make sure that they take this issue seriously, because it is alarming to find that some municipalities do not know what is happening on the ground. So I'd just like to commend the Buffalo City municipalities. We were very impressed when we went there, and we've seen that they are taking this hands-on, and we also in the city of Johannesburg is also doing very well, and they are doing the roadshows. We are aware the department is trying. They are doing roadshows and workshops, but at the end of the day, South Africans still feel abandoned. So I think that is the greatest message, that South Africans need to feel included in the economy, because post-1994 there was not adequate integration of people into the informal economy. For the sake of time, I'll just give to DDG.
Thank you for that, Mr. Ngobo. DDG, I've literally got a minute with you, and I want to talk about the issue of extortion, people demanding protection fees for South African spaza owners to be able to run their businesses in the interests of sustainability and safety. What are you going to do to protect them?
I was made to drink milk from a wolf's udder because the pack said I was a curse. I was born clutching my dead twin's throat.
I think that issue government is fully aware of. There are many cases. There are law enforcement departments that deal with that. As a Department of Small Business, we are active in the JCPS cluster precisely because of the crime that small businesses experience, and we continue to engage and ensure that the environment for businesses to thrive is conducive, and that law enforcement assists us in doing that.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, DDG, and thank you so much, Mr. Ngobo, for joining us on the program today. Well, did you know that
yes. Rule the world. Yes, yes. When I say one man, yes. Do you want more? Yes, yes. When I say one man, yes. Do you want more? Yes, yes. Make like a cat. Meow. Cat. Meow, meow. Like a dog. Move. A dog. Move, move. Make like a gun. Gun. Make the bomber. Make the bomber.
Up the arrow. Up the arrow. Blue and white. Turn me to a superhero. Superhero. Blue and white. Turn me to a 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 superhero. In the shade, I'ma take that to the grave. To the grave. It was in and now it's creeping out the cave. Out the cave. Find my target, now I'm loading up the arrow. Up the arrow. Blue and white, turn me to a superhero. Superhero. Blue and white, turn me to a 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 superhero.
I'ma take that to the grave! To the grave! That's the dead and proud sleeping girl! Out the grave! But the dog, nothing at the arrow! Superhero! Blue and white, turn into a 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 superhero! And the time, I'ma take that to the grave! That's the dead, now sleeping on the guy! For the dog, now he's pulling up the arrow! Superhero, blue and white, turn into a superhero! 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 Tina siya zalana masube.
Students' energy. It can be seen and heard in their war cry.
kan die boemang. Boemang. Skrik my boeglam. Boeglam. Verry boemslang. Boemslang. Ek sê waya. Waya. Waya, waya. Waya. Ek sê waya. Waya. Waya, waya. Waya. Ek sê vir tabu. 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 Beki. Beki. I do think Beki. Beki. I believe Beki. Beki. Ek sê waya. 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 Diazuku.
Selection. Gula. I believe. I believe. We believe. We believe. Ghana believe. Ghana believe. Impossible. 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 What will be done? What will be done? I believe. I believe. We believe. We believe. Ghana believe. Impossible. Impossible. What will be done? bless my school. Okay. God bless my school. Oh yeah. God bless my school. Okay. God bless my school. Bird bless the stick. Oh no. Bird bless the stick. Bird bless the stick. Bird bless the stick. Let's go. Stick. 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 I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. You drop there. God. Stick. 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 I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. Stick. 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 Hey, stick. I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. Stick. 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 I got a blue stick. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. God bless my school. Okay. God bless my school. Oh yeah. God bless my school. God bless my school. God bless the stick. God bless the stick. God bless the stick. God bless the stick. 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 Down. Stick. Down. Stick. 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 I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. You drop there. Yeah. Stick. Yeah. Stick. 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 I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. Stick. 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 I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. Stick. 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 I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. Stick. 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 I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick. Yeah. I got a blue stick. Yeah. I got a white stick.
Mina nilimele kabi Kizio yami ipugile yamu Nilimele kabi Mina nilimele kabi Kizio yami ipugile yamu
azayishubisa ngibona kwi-group chat ngibona la ku-TikTok khona usisi nje la ku-TikTok ovedamathi ingane azikhalalishe i-South African flag guys kanti ninjani lapho bengithi ngiyabaxolela uma ngibuka nge-online akiri benginganama-class from ekuseni to 12 anginama-class ki-online ngiyabuka yebo bayayishubisa ngithi ngiyaxola but sengiyazibuza ukuthi uhlaleleni bengine-class ngithi okay after school nginey'ngane ey'ncane ngithi okay iy'ngane zami ngizozenzisa the alphabet I cause ngilokho ngifundisa alphabet kancane kancane bengithi sizofunda u-I namhlanje I makes the E sound yabo iglue ngithi ngizongena ngaleyo ngithi ngithi ngeke baby girl you taking it too easy ngiphethe iglobe ngithe abayikhombe i-South Africa ukuthi kephi ngithe abayikhombe i-South Africa ukuthi ngephi la abakhombe la kujatshulwe khona abakhombe la sijabule khona hey guys beningababona bethi Africa ngithi Africa is a continent ngithe khombani South Africa cause sijabule sodwa akiri nithenina laba abanye ama-Africans abasijabulele he so sijabule sodwa khombani South Africa ngathi ngiqeda lapha ngiyabona lapha same thing before ngibafake kwi-flag ngiqale ngabadansi waka waka mina kodwa bekuyenye ku-YouTube ethi besishayinende lapha shayinende ngithi yes ngabadansi iwaka waka 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 kutumpotiyane kwizingane. It's fine. Vele, this was not for the kids, it was for the adults. But unyazi nani izono zabantwana ziwela izono zabantu abadala ziwela ey'nganeni. I couldn't have thing ngayenza ngathi ngiqeda ngathi flag bathi beqeda ukukhalalisha iflag ngathi ama-flag odongweni ya ngathi ama-flag odongweni ngifuna uthisha uma bengene ngoba ngifika Friday kuphela la ngifuna uthisha uma bengene bathi kuthi isilonda ngiyokwazi ukudiliza iflag lami siqaleni lapho. You can't just take it down because this is my class on Fridays and ngiyazi ukuthi nginibekeleni laphaya angeke bekwazi ukwasusa ama-flagi nawa adwetshwa akhalarishwe ey'ngane zenu. Ngithi what color is it? So it's red. What color is it? It's blue. It's blue. It's red. It's green. It's yellow. It's okay. It's not really yellow. It's gold. You know why it's gold? Because we want gold. Somehow we imagine it's gold. It's not yellow. It's gold. It's black. It's white. Yo, guys, I thought ndiyaxola. Uxola is for the week. Sengibone ngisho ngaweek. Ngisho ngaweek, guys. Yo, ngisho kanti disappoint ngiyaxolisa. Ngeke ngiphinde ngenze leyo nonsense.
Show me, show me, show me. The thing about a colored is that when you put all of us coloreds in one line, every race can see themselves in us. We are everybody. You see, they called us confused, but we're not confused. Yes. We are interracially infused. You and I, my brother, yes, sir. We are a biological prototype of racial integration. That is us. Why did God create us so uniquely? And why were we meant to be?
Someone said to me, why are you so passionate when you speak about South Africa? I said to them, I love this country. That's the truth. And if you love something, you hate to see it get destroyed by people that don't care. We must teach each other as South Africans to love our country, to fight for our country, to want the best for our country.
Better African, why don't you wanna go home? South African, just need some time alone. Go back home, please. We'll invite you again to visit. Go back home, please. We'll invite you again to visit. Hambani, Hambani. We love you, but we need to fix our country. Fix our country. Go back home, please. We'll invite you again to visit.
Here is because their government failed them. They ran away from their government. They can't now stay for our government to take care of them. We don't owe them anything. They have a government that they ran away from. If they're scared in South Africa, they must move to the next country where they're not going to be scared, or find a government that they can go to who doesn't have a problem. Us as South Africans, the voters, the people who pay taxes, the people whose country this belongs to, our forefathers died for this land, are saying we have had enough of what is happening in our country. And if they continue to tell us that they're not going anywhere, that's not going to be our job to evacuate them. It's either our government is going to evacuate them or their government is going to come and fetch them. Either way, you won't force us to stay with people we don't want to stay with because of the things that they have done. That's the part that they need to be honest about. It's 32 years. If they had problems in their countries, you can't tell me in 32 years we're getting more and more refugees instead of less and less, because it means they are not going home to fix their problems. So we catered for them for 32 years. We paid for apartheid now. We paid our dues. You can't expect us to keep paying for apartheid anymore. It's enough.
So the 30th of June still remains the deadline?
Well, I'll talk to my brothers because they issued the deadline, and I know they have the plan of what should happen. But as much and much, we're just here hoping that the government will respond effectively and will continue to put pressure on them.
Thank you very much. Jacinta Ngobese Zuma from March and March.
Ukuphawula kwami ngokudoba kwabantu la ukuthi nje hey kuyatshengisa khona ukuqhubeka kutshengisa khona ukuthi izwe lethu ngendlela engahloniphekile ngalo, ngoba labantu bakhala ngokuthi bayasaba, basabela impilo zabo. Mekuthiwa baye police station bayovula amacala bathi bawavulile, kodwa uma ufika police station uthola ukuthi inhlangano evula police station uyibuze ukuthi kanjani ngoba phela if mina ngishayiwe ngikwazi ukuvula icala on behalf of omunye umuntu ngithi ngikwenza as a group project. So namanje samangele ngoba bahlezi bekhala ngokuthi banezingane nani asazi ukuthi lokho kushintsha ini ekuthenini kunomthetho ezweni, njengoba behleli la bethi bayasaba. Abanayo yini ama-embassy bonke labantu ngoba phela umuntu mesaba angahamba e-embassy yangakubo acele ukuthi basize, ngoba amaphoyisa ethu awasebenzi phela ukuthi abe ama-bodyguard abo. At the end of the day asinawo nathi siney'nkinga ngasey'ndaweni zakithi, siyafisa ukuthi amaphoyisa lokhu emile nje ngakhona kuthiwa agade thina, nathi baya-streetnisha bona futhi labantu, nathi imizi yashiswa, nathi bayadutshulwa, kodwa kwazi usibone sihambe siyogijima siyome e-police station sithi amaphoyisa awazoma nje usuku lonke agade thina. Kukhona kodwa i-element yokudelela la, and ikhona i-element yokuba entitled esikhalelayo kakhulu njengama-South Africans. Thina lezi zinto abazenzayo azenzi thina. Khona amaphara ahleli lapho, wakwawubona amaphara agijimeza la athi wona afuna indawo yokuhlala. Home Affairs awungagcini ngokuverify ama-documents abo. uHome Affairs usize ubathathe ubagodukise baye emakubo, ngoba yonke lento abekubesichazelayo ukuthi ba ama-refugees ayiyenzi sense. Kwasho ngisho uminister lo sisoku minister and the president uthi
ngo-1994 lona umlando omkhulu kakhulu oqoshwe namhlanje kusayibutho bafethu leli ngoba ungasubheka lapha phezulu kusayizinduku kuphela amaqembu epolitiki ilapha esiyakuwona uyabo yo yes yo bafethu kusayibutho leli it's just a butho of the Zulu. It's just a butho of wethu akakahlangana nemashi sijalo asibizele lokho bafethu ukuthi akakahlangana nemashi imashi liwa kuyona simanga nje bafethu esenzakala la simanga
Asesa betina
kusho ukuthi siyayazi phela leyo nto angithi kuyinhlonipho nje bafowethu besicela ukuthi abantu abangagunyaziwe ukuthi bephawule ngalama match esuke ngikuwo mina ngiqale nje ngami ngedwa mina ngivumi ukuthi umuntu aphawule endaweni lapho nengikhona khona aphawule into esingayixoxanga mina naye ngoba angifuni ukuvuka ekseni sengiyaboshwa nani ke njengoba niposta lezi zinto eniziphostayo musana ukubhala ama caption as incriminatayo thina ngoba phela nje ubushutha nami la bese uhamba uyoposta into ushuthe nami ukhulume into okungeyona asizukuhambisana mina ke ngihola insizwa manje ngibona ngikhuluma ngikhuluma ngenxa yeViet semva kwami kulula ukwenza noma yini uma ungalandelwa umuntu ngoba umuntu mayona koneli wena thina ke lapha insizweni insizwa mayona yonela umuntu oyiholayo ingakho ke nginikeza iseluleko njengamanje ongafuni ukulalela abafowethu angene ngemuva cashe angalaleli engemuva kodwa oze kulento oyihloniphayo ohlonipha thina esingabahleli nabanikazi bayo sicela ukuthi asihloniphe angithi ayikho ingxabano lento engishilo angithi ayikho inhlamba kulento engishilo senza nje inhlonipho lelizwe abafowethu lizolunga nginitshela mina ngiyanigarantela lizolunga engafuni ukukhuluma into eqondile sizombekezelela uyoza khuluma into elungile ngoba uyayazi into elungile ukuthi ama drugs aqala izingane zethu njengoba ningaka uyazi ukuthi anisebenzi sebenesikhathi bephethizwe namanje kulokhu kuyehla akukhuphuki sizolilungisa siqonda ukulungisa lona kuphela ayikho enye agenda esinayo sifuna kulunge izwe kuphela nisebenze nonke futhi ngiyanigarantela nonke nizogcina nisebenza
Nigerians must be very careful. Nigerians are very bold and ignorant. They must be very careful. And other foreigners from other South African countries, they must disassociate themselves with Nigerians. Because Nigerians are the ones who are teaching people to be arrogant. This is a warning. We are men. We are too strong. We are stronger than them. We are a might. They mustn't seek for war. War is never a solution. We do have the war. We have the power. We have men. We have our strategies. But we don't want to use that. We are saying just leave. just leave the country, leave our sisters.
Which country in the world drafts a constitution that accommodates other countries? We have never seen such madness, and this is a first for us, and it's unfortunate, and it hurts. It cuts deep. It hurts us deeply as a nation to learn ukuthi our officials don't understand the law. Including the state president. We have seen videos where he will even go to illegal operated businesses, like those that are operated by your Somalis and them, spaza shops, to ask how business is doing. Where have you seen such? He's not even questioning why are you operating this type of business as a foreign national in the country. He's going there to support. So that's where we are. Hence, we are not going to listen or entertain nonsense as South Africans. We will do everything that we can in our power to protect our people and the resources of this country and our world, and generally South Africa in general.
You know, last Dila, the judiciary is captured. SAPS is corrupt to the core. I mean, Saibong Madanga Commission, Kukulula Zonk is in this wrong, and we've been saying that for the past 6 years. That's the same reason Bebe Valley Operation Tutula by silence. But they're not gonna win. We're going back to the streets.
Laphaya kunabantu abaningi undocumented, but siyazi ukuthi abanye bazozama ukubaleka and all that, but we must just be careful. You can hear their footsteps on the roof. Yeah, man, yeah. I'm a foreigner, how many of you are documented? Well, you must not come with an attitude. You are harboring illegal immigrants and you want us to cooperate. No. We've been saying that we want our borders to be closed because our borders are porous, and we want prioritization of our own South Africans. I mean, he's saying that South Africans are crying for scraps, but you have a person that jumps the border and crosses 9 other countries to come and cry for scraps in our own country. Can't they have their own scraps and fight for their own scraps in their countries? Because that's what we are saying. The people, the labor guys that are supposed to be actually fighting for South Africans, because they're being remunerated for fighting for South Africans. Instead, they're opting to say that we are scapegoating and all that. South Africans need their jobs. We are here in this country.
She doesn't have solutions. She doesn't have solutions.
We have solutions.
No.
Solutions is you must close. We're going to close the borders.
Okay.
And employment.
The 4% of people that are not taking
It's
jobs. not
4%.
You're fighting for points.
How do we say that we know how many illegal... First way to Tanzania. It's a block of flags. Kalama South Africans. The conditions are bad. So that the building will be renovated. By the way, that building was earmarked by Obama Mashaba when he was in mayor in 2019. Why should you so that even low-cost housing for abantu bokuhlala, so that it's convenient for abantu. But what we see today is that akuna manzi, akuna gesi, health hazard nje laphaya kuyabheda yonke into. Kuse toilet, it's a dumping site there now. It's not a place engahlala abantu, there's no waste collection. The situation is bad, and that's why we are here, because we want a peace. And now we are here in Florence. Florence used to be a hostel, Yamanes, but it has turned into something else. Now you still find families, no water, no electricity, and the situation is just bad, guys. We can't be living like this. It's I'm sure they're building now and so, and we have about inspections and people to go.
We want to urge you, President. We want to urge you to enter the serious debate of undocumented foreigners in our country, Honorable President. Our cities, Honorable President, have seen unprecedented marches of citizens raising concerns about undocumented immigrants. Ours is to state this clearly, Honorable President. We refuse to be against all foreign citizens, but we agree that undocumented foreigners who entered our country legally must leave our country peacefully. Once more, President, we want to make it clear we are not against foreigners, but you can't tolerate people we don't know how they came in our country, what they need in our country, what they are doing in our country, and where they stay in our country, President. So, President, we urge you to enter the debate and allow us to ensure the new immigration laws and the immigration bill that is currently in public participation mode, that it must be utilized to be the final document to resolve this matter once and for all. And those that have given foreigners up until the 30th of June to leave our country, we want to emphasize the point that this must be done orderly and through the processes of the law in our country. President, let me take this opportunity to thank you, President, for intervening with the Minister of Social Development. But we want to urge you, President, don't stop there, President. Don't stop there, President. There is a certain minister, President, that the country assigned him a task to develop an AI policy. He used AI to develop a policy.
That some of the marches may take place every Thursday. We are not lowering our guards. We might not have the resources and the capacity at that level, but the approach is to enter in negotiations and discussions with the organizers. In the cabinet meeting that I was in, we've agreed to have a 2-day session with the organizers. We're going to go through on all the issues that have been raised in all the memorandum that have been submitted to us on immigration, on business, on access to social institutions like schools, clinics, hospitals, and on matters that related to business, which means small business development. We are ready as a Gauteng government to ensure that we enter into those meaningful discussions and formulate proposals that will have a permanent solution, because we are of the view that we can't have these marches literally every day, and that's creating problems in our province. So Cabinet has approved that 2-day summit. We're inviting all affected institutions and agencies of government and political parties that have shown interest on these issues. With the announcement,
Natal Premier Tamintuli is calling for harsher punishment and jail time for employers found guilty of employing undocumented foreign nationals.
We will intensify inspections at workplaces and businesses across the province to identify and act against employers who hire undocumented foreign nationals in contravention of South African law. I want to be direct on this point. Employers who deliberately disregard our immigration regulations are not innocent bystanders to the tensions communities are raising. They are contributors to those tensions. Government will find them. Government will act against them.
The protests may have died down for now, but the issue of illegal migration remains. Sipamandla Koke, Durban.
Wait a second. Because you want to... abasebenzi South Africa
uzocomply from now on moving forward.
Aphinde bakhokhele kahle.
Abasebenza la uzobakhokhela according to the national law of South Africa. And number 3, the mali abakoleta uzobanikeza.
If you bring somebody to me,
yes, we will.
Yeah, hold on. If you bring somebody to me, and you say employ this person, I will employ that person, provided that that person is qualified in the particular job.
No problem.
You need to pay that money. You can't bring just anybody and put here because this is a business, you understand? We are prepared to comply. Okay. We have no problem.
It's fine if you promise to do it. Yeah. That's what you once said.
You guys see Chadima's back in the news. Not to dig up old wounds, but we're going to have a discussion about audacity real quick. She was at the Cape Town Regional Court yesterday, bro, fighting her deportation. Miss, I'm never coming back to South Africa.
Safe to say, I'm not going back again.
That's true, then why are you sneaking in through Mozambique, my bro? Allegedly. But imagine that, eh? You sneak into the country, claiming to be a South African citizen, and then you want to take them to court to stay when Home Affairs wants to deport you. Again, the audacity. Now, the matter of her legal representation is going to require a video on its own, so expect that today.
We want to operate. Tell us, they ask me about Ubuntu. I said, I don't care about it. Don't tell me about Ubuntu. Tell me. They've used Ubuntu to abuse us. Let us use the rule of law. Ubuntu are suspended.
To respond to critics that says this operation is aimed at gaining votes ahead of the local government elections.
That is what politics. What do you think I'm in politics to do? To get tenders? I'm not in politics to get tenders and get favors. I'm in politics to make sure that I actually get the dignity of South Africans back. And
so how did the party identify these RDP houses that are being rented out by foreign nationals, and how many RDPs are we talking about?
Well, how this matter came to our attention, it is the creativity of, it was an initiative started by Zandile Tabula, who's one of my mayoral candidates for the city of Johannesburg under human settlement. I said to her to take South Africans into confidence. I said, in the event you elect me as the mayor, these are the people who are going to serve in my executive. Appointed and identified Zandile to head the portfolio of human settlement. And
Sonia Pito, ki ile ka nna le bothata ba ntlo ya mo Cosmos City.
So the woman on the video is Sonia Pito, a 62-year-old from Cosmos City, Extension 6 in the West End. She spoke to IR on Friday on the sidelines of the Action SA operation targeting the alleged hijacked RDP houses in the area. Pito said she's been fighting to claim her late brother's RDP house in the same area but in Extension 2. The brother died in 2007. According to Pito, the house was registered in her son's name. She also alleged that a police officer from the Honeydew police station took over the house in 2015 after the family contacted him for assistance with her son, who was struggling with the drug addiction.
Se ba mpoleletseng sona ke gore ke tswe ka mo ntlong ka gore ke ntlo ya gagwe o batla pleke e leng yaka because
part of what she's already doing, asking South Africans to bring to her attention houses that have been taken over by foreign nationals. And now all these people are the ones who called her. She's been here for the last few days, and what she has uncovered, it's actually quite worrying. So here now, people have been sharing with us their experiences. Now I'm going to go on site to go and actually have a look at these issues myself. And
can you please tell us about your issue here?
Actually, my name is Boston Vane.
When my father passed away 2 years ago, my family and I discovered that he had been living with another woman, a foreign national from Zimbabwe, and that they had a child together. Following his death, this woman moved into the property, began mistreating the existing tenants until they left and replaced them with new tenants. She is now claiming ownership of the house and has been illegally collecting the rental income. The property generates over 18,000 rands a month, and it is currently owing over 80,000 rands in total with the municipality. Because of this, the municipality and creditors are constantly calling me, demanding payment. My father died interstate, without a will, and his death certificate states he was never married. Legally, his biological children are his rightful heirs. I need this resolved so that my brothers and sisters can go to school and so that we can have financial security. Since my father died, life has been incredibly difficult. I have to hustle and work odd jobs to put food on the table for my younger siblings. We have already taken this matter to court, where officials explicitly explained to her that she has no legal claim to my father's estate. While she insists that her child with my father deserves a share, which we agree the child is entitled to as an heir, she refuses to cooperate with the rest of the family. Instead, she has changed the locks on the property, completely denying us access. I do not even know if my father's personal belongings are being stolen. My lawyers have sent formal letters, but the legal process is taking too long to respond, allowing her to continue collecting cash from the tenants every day. We are being taken advantage of, and we desperately need the system to intervene and help us.
What we're going to do, two approaches. Short term is to make sure that we bring this to the attention of the South African authorities from national, provincial and local government, because unfortunately it looks like quite a number of policemen and women are involved in this operations with foreign nationals to take houses from legal South Africans, selling them to foreign nationals, and when these foreign nationals take over these houses, they rent them out not only to South Africans, they rent them out to other foreign nationals.
Were you too harsh on foreigners living in Johannesburg? So much so that it upset people who may have wanted to vote for you, because if you read Nelson Mandela's speech from the dock, a lot of the coming of our freedom is because of what people in the rest of Africa did for us by protecting freedom fighters, by funding the struggle against apartheid. And there is remnant appreciation and acknowledgement of that. And I think on the whole, South Africans are not anti-foreign in a virulent and ugly way.
The question of illegal undocumented foreigners, actually the first time around I was too soft. This time they're going to see hell from me. I'm not going to tolerate illegal undocumented foreign nationals in the city I lead. That I think I want to make it really very clear. I'm going to hold the GNU and Home Affairs accountable. We are going to hunt them down. They will never get licenses. I'm going to make sure that are open as a matter of agency, municipal courts, where this lawlessness is going to come to an end. And undocumented illegal foreigners, we're gonna, if Home Affairs doesn't send them back, we will arrest them every day, go and dump them at Home Affairs offices. They must make space where we can dump them, but they're not going to be allowed in the city I lead, because anyone expecting me to turn that city around, like anywhere in the world, success of any nation is dependent on the rule of law. So you can't really run a successful country in an environment of chaos. And therefore, I don't want to promise illegal undocumented foreigners, they're not going to see peace, because they're not giving our people peace. Undocumented illegal foreigners are not welcome. It is here in black and white. And I'm unapologetic about this. I cannot understand how anyone can expect us as a country to accommodate illegal foreigners when we have 42% of our people unemployed. We have our people living under this condition. This is totally unacceptable. If and when people give us the mandate to be the government, we will ensure that these foreigners, we send them back to their countries. But we work on inner city rejuvenation projects, including taking over abandoned factories in and around this area of Alexandra, because they owe the city of Johannesburg a lot of money. We want to expropriate them, give them to the private sector to build a massive affordable accommodation for our people of Alexandra. We move people from here, and we will do it piece by piece, straight by straight, over years, to make sure that ultimately our people see justice. And also, human rights must actually apply to them.
They come on our national TV and tell us that they are legal from Malawi. When you ask them what kind of a document you have, if they don't have a study permit, they have asylum. We have proven that these guys are never going into a classroom, but they have a study permit. But you have an asylum, but there's no war in Malawi. What does this mean? It means that the system is corrupted to a point that even the international community, they know that South Africa is a weakling. And the reason is a weak link is because they know that there are people in the Department of Home Affairs that will sort you out. As a matter of fact, work that when you go to department, go to Harrison Street, the activity there is like Langlachte. You go there, you want to do your license. The people that are outside there, they will sort you out. What do you want? Before you even go inside, you're going to meet somebody outside who's going to ask you, what do you want? What's the point I'm making? That internationally, people now know that if you want travel documents, the safest and most corrupt country that you can go to is South Africa. And once you've got your South African documents right, you can then travel anywhere else. It is for this reason that you find people in other parts of the world, his name is Okonko, but he has a South African passport. But actually, they actually wanted to be in London, but the only way towards London was to come to South Africa first, obtain the documents, and go anywhere. That's why our travel documents have lost value. So nobody's going to be telling us nonsense about, no, I am legal. Legal because you obtained them fraudulently? Sit down. I'm not going to allow anybody to threaten me. You can tell when journalists will go. I mean, they went to Sherwood there in Durban. Are you legal in the? Yeah, me. I'm legal in the country. I'm just here to come and help these people. Shut up. Where are you from? I'm from Malawi. What kind of documents do you have? I've got an asylum. Okay. When you say that to us, quiet, done. Sit down. We don't want to talk anymore. Done. Because we know that from all these countries where there's no war, I'll tell you that you got those documents fraudulently. And yes, you got them from our people. Yes, they are official documents from Home Affairs. But if we were going to do an investigation on that quality of that paper and the process that was followed, I will tell you, you will not stand the test of time. So much and much, the people of South Africa are now talking about the issue of asylum and immigration or migration in South Africa because it has been taken for granted.
South Africans, we are not done yet. June 30th may have come, but we are not done. If constitutional reform is important for you, and I promise you it is important to you, please go and follow Prince Mtubeni. She is one of the founders for South Africans for Constitutional Reform. They currently have a petition to government to listen to proposals for constitutional reform. We have until midnight tonight to make our petitions heard. Please go and follow this link right here on her profile. It will tell you everything you need to know. It takes less than 20 minutes to fill in. Do your part.
Hi guys, I'm so excited to introduce the new SACR logo. The logo represents a growing citizen-led movement committed to accountability, public participation, and ensuring that the voice of ordinary South Africans is heard. The hand, formed from the colors of our national flag, symbolizes the people of South Africa and our belief that the Constitution belongs to the people. And because SACR was built by the people, we want you to take ownership of this logo. You can now download the official SACR logo from my Linktree using the link in my bio. Use it as your profile picture, share it with your friend, add it to your content, and help us grow this movement across the country. Guys, this is not just SACR logo. This is a symbol of South Africans coming together to reclaim the voice of the people. Thank you for watching. My name is Prince Mtombeni Umaduma. There are moments in life of a movement when words don't feel quite enough. And today is one of those moments. When we launched our Bekabedi campaign, we set out to raise 250,000 rand to help fund SACR's public interest litigation. As South Africans responded with overwhelming generosity, we realized ukuthi we were about to reach that goal much sooner than we had anticipated. So we increased our target to 500,000 rand, believing that every additional contribution would strengthen our ability to pursue this important work. Today, I am humbled to tell you that because of 6,882 incredible donors, we have raised over 715,000 rand. That's 143% of our revised goal. Think about that for a moment. That's 6,882 South Africans who chose not to stand on the sidelines, but to become part of SACR's history. So to everyone who donated, whether it was 10 rand, 50 rand, 20 rand, 100 rand, 1,000 rand, 5,000 rand, sithi nje siyabonga. You didn't just make a donation, you placed your trust in SACR and in the principle that ordinary South Africans deserve to have their voices heard. As many of you know, these funds were raised specifically to support SACR's public interest litigation for last year's constitutional review process. We remain committed to using them for that intended purpose. Transparency and accountability are fundamental to who we are. And in due course, we will publish a financial report so that every donor can see exactly how their funds have been utilized. Although we have exceeded our target, our campaign remains open for the next 2 months. So anyone who still wishes to support this work is warmly invited to do so. But our journey doesn't end with litigation. One of our next major milestones is the SACR Imbizo, a gathering that will bring South Africans from across the country together to shape the future of this movement and the work that lies ahead. So I want to encourage you guys to start thinking about how you can help make this Imbizo a success. Whether by volunteering your time, sharing your expertise, helping us organize, sponsoring the event, etc. We want every help we can get to make our inaugural Imbizo a success. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for believing in SACR. Thank you for believing that active citizens can strengthen our democracy. Thank you for proving that when South Africans unite around a shared purpose, extraordinary things are possible. This movement belongs to all of us. Let's keep building it together. My name is Prince Mtombeni Umaduma, co-founder of South Africans for Constitutional Reform. Thank you for watching.
South Africans want an economy that creates opportunities for South Africans. Respondents called for constitutional measures that promote entrepreneurship, expand informal trading opportunities, improve financial inclusion, and remove barriers preventing ordinary South Africans from participating meaningfully in the economy. Their message was simple: economic opportunities must reach ordinary South Africans. Therefore, we are proposing amendments to Section 22 to enable Parliament to reserve designated categories of informal trading for South African citizens and to promote greater financial inclusion so that more South Africans can participate meaningfully in the economy.
Who funds the NGOs that are holding South Africa back? Yep, the ones challenging every attempt by our government to develop, build, and create jobs. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, I'm Prince Mtombeni Umaduma, a co-founder of South Africans for Constitutional Reform. Millions of dollars from foreign foundations are backing lawsuits that stall progress and block development projects across the country. Guys, this is not just a fight in court. It's money influencing the pace of South Africa's growth and stability. Who's behind it and why? Let's have a look at some of these NGOs' law representatives and their funders. Let's start with the Socio-Economic Rights Institute. SERI represented informal traders in Johannesburg in a recent housing and street trading rights case. SERI is funded by Alliance for Open Society International, Cameroon Shria Foundation, Ford Foundation. Now I want you to underline Ford Foundation and bold it. Global Affairs Canada, Misereo, Norwegian People's Aid, Open Society Foundation, the Beta Foundation, the Alma South Africa Foundation, the Wraith Foundation, Solidarity Center, Wallace Global Fund, and many more, guys. Now, let's move to the Southern African Legal Information Institute, SAFLI. One of their cases involved fighting government against the extraction of oil in South Africa. Now, I couldn't find the updated list of their donors, but here are some of them. Legal Practice Council, General Counsel of the Bar, Cape Law Society, Wickermans, Claude Leon Foundation, Baker, Mackenzie, Norton Rose Fulbright, University of Cape Town, and Ford Foundation, among many, many others. Then there's All Rise Attorney, also involved in the same case as SAFLI. Here are some of their funders. Center for Climate Integrity, Environment Defenders Law Center, Ford Foundation, I said highlight, underline, bold, whatever you can do with it. Frontline Defenders, Global Environmental Trust, Global Green Grants Funding, IAIASA, Impact, King's College London School of Global Affairs, Legal Aid South Africa, MACUA, Natural Justice, Open Society Foundation South Africa, Bayavela Food Lab, Our Children's Earth Foundation, SDCEA, Southern Africa Trust, Southern Africa Human Rights Defenders Network, Wits University, Center for Applied Legal Studies. And then the Center for Environmental Rights. One of their cases is Cancel Coal case, where they challenged the government's plans to build more coal-fired power plants. Some of their funders are European Climate Foundation, Ford Foundation, again, Hans Huysen Charitable Trust, Heinrich Boll Foundation, Mons Michaels Trust, Open Society Foundation for SA, Oxfam Novib, Wraith Foundation, Sigrid Rosing Trust, Swedish Society for Nature Conservation, Wallace Global Fund, and others. Check how much Ford Foundation is donating to these guys. Guys, as I mentioned earlier on, these are not all the NGOs. It's just a few legal representatives of many NGOs in South Africa. And these are not all of the funders. But this shows how foreign funding channeled through these legal representatives is shaping legal battles over South Africa's growth. The money behind the lawsuits. The pattern is clear. Who is the Ford Foundation? That's the story for the next video. Thank you for watching.
The kinds of taxes that we pay are unjust, are inhumane. They are beyond what apartheid did to us. The apartheid government developed this country, albeit with separate economic development, albeit under racial policies. But we had less unemployment than we have now. We had less crime than we have now. We had less people being raped than we have now. We had competent prisons. We had competent schools. We had competent hospitals. We had competent courts. We had even the death penalty to protect us from the animals that are roaming the streets now, animals who don't even have permission to be in South Africa, illegal immigrants who can kill anyone and get away with it because they have no fingerprints, they can't be traced. And we have people who defend them through illegal and unconstitutional acts like the Bella Bill that says a child who is here illegally can stay illegally. Their parents can stay with them. How do you stay in a country illegally when your parent is a criminal? That nonsense needs to be taken to the Constitutional Court.
Illegal immigrants in South Africa or undocumented. Not that I know what's the difference. I think if you're undocumented, maybe you're illegal as well, but that's aside it. That is the focus area. And part of that is to ensure that we get the foreigners also out of our facilities. It's costing about 11.7 million rand per day for the taxpayer, only for the foreigners. Those are the realities. So, from our
Griselda, what you are seeing right now are live visuals from the Musimani cemetery at Mashishimale in Palabora.
Fallen heroes, fallen soldiers who died in the front line, soldiers who were part of peacekeeping operations on the African continent, in particular in this case, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Unfortunately, these are the ones who did not return alive. Conversations had over the past couple of weeks about South Africa's involvement in peacekeeping operations on the continent. If we look at South Africa's involvement in Ethiopia, in Sudan, in Eritrea, and of course in the DRC, South Africa has been a troop contributing country to many areas on the continent that lack peace and stability. The men that are being buried here today, dying on the front lines of ensuring peace and stability on the continent.
South Africa is currently facing a huge security threat, more than a lot of us realize. South Africa has NPOs and NGOs that are foreign funded and have millions of rands. That money goes to buying arms. And I'm saying this having received this information in confidence, and I'm saying it because I want anyone who says that I'm lying to go and research what I'm saying and tell me that I'm wrong. These foreign funded NGOs, some of them are used to buy arms. So there's a lot of guns that are hidden by these so-called refugees that they have to protect themselves, so they say. But it's not about protection. You must ask yourself, which country in the world discovers military training grounds that you didn't know? The government of Lesotho said that young people in Lesotho are coming here to be trained for the military. This is what the Lesotho government said. South African government doesn't even see a problem, Shem. They think everything is nice. I think Mamu Enji is too focused on much and much to focus on that. State security, the biggest problem we made was putting that under the president of the country. I don't even understand how that happened. Why would you put something so critical under the hand of the very same president who is more interested in foreign affairs than internal affairs and protecting this country? So we have lots and lots, I'm sure you as news people, you know, there's bombs being found at the border for heists and all these things. And right now we just saw even the Kruger National Park, the couple that passed away, they apparently, the people who committed the crime ran to Mozambique. There's other criminals like the Moyo guy who shot 2 police, ran to Zimbabwe. It's a common thing. So we need a serious border in this country, because those vehicles, I don't know if you saw those vehicles that were there that were paraded by the Home Affairs Department, that they go into the river, blah blah blah. Those rivers don't even belong to BMA. They were just a demonstration. They've gone back to the owners because the government says they can't afford it. We don't have enough drones. The drones that they say they have are not enough. The situation at the border is BMA is suffering a lot. They are only operating at 25% capacity. That means 75% of the country is exposed to any threat from any international, even military agencies, agents, and we're sitting on a ticking time bomb. And I'm really hoping South Africans will stand up and defend their country, because I mean, seemingly the president doesn't fund the Navy, doesn't fund the SANDF, doesn't fund the police. Every single state entity that's meant to protect the country and its citizens is defunded, which leaves you with the question, which president in the world would want to leave their country that vulnerable?
A lot of talks around people who are politically affiliated, noma abantu abaseka amaqembu athile bekhuluma ngani ngo-SACR, of which that's a good thing in my view. It's a great thing. But kunento engifisa ukuthi si establish noma si understand sonke ukuthi
any political party that wishes to actually truly transform impilo zabantu base South Africa cannot do so outside the parameters of the Constitution. The Constitution is the highest law in the country, and it is the law that governs everything. For example, if employment is not mandated and explicitly stated, ukuthi employment is a right, same way healthcare and life is a right, we understand, then sizoba nenkinga employment in South Africa. If land reform is not explicitly stated in the Constitution, then sizoba nenkinga in South Africa. If energy and development is not explicitly secured by the Constitution or mandated by the Constitution, sizoba nenkinga. Izinto eziningi esiyifunayo mina ngokubuka kwami, you understand, if they are not explicitly stated, if putting South African citizens first when it comes to scarcity of resources is not explicitly stated in the Constitution, sizoba nenkinga. So alikho iqembu lezepolitiki elizosdelivela any form of transformation or change if it's not explicitly mandated by the Constitution. Ngisho singawudlala siwushuka umshayina siwudlale siwushuka umshayina. There's a reason the Constitution of South Africa is hailed as one of the best in the world, yet is quite vague when it comes to explicitly defining a relationship between the citizens, the Constitution, and the state's responsibility to the citizens. We understand there is no correlation or direct responsibility and obligation that is stated by our Constitution. Ukuthi Constitution yethu iyakunqaba lokho for citizens, iyakuvuma lokho for citizens. And I think that's where SACR comes in. But I am saying all of this to say, abantu abaphakathi ka SACR, all of them are politically affiliated namaqembu abo. Uyabo, even myself niyalazi iqembu engengalibabaza kulezi insuku ngathi how we understand a lot, because why ngeumuntu ngiyababaza vele and sonke siyababaza, and I can give you a plethora of creators who support SACR. Abababaza are different political parties at the moment, but one thing okufanele si understand guys, ayikho into i political party yakhe ezokudelivela yona outside the remits of the Constitution, because the Constitution is the highest law in the country. Lento uyibona ngani? Uyibona ngama campaign slogans when someone is looking for i-office eParliament. Nike nayibona lento le ngengimusho lo yabhuti loyana o campaign le wa campaign. Wathi mefika eParliament washintsha istory sakhe. Ushintshiswa yini istory sakhe ubhuti? It's because ngalesi sikhathi ufunga lapha eParliament ukuthi uyoseva iSouth Africa. In South Africa, it's all those who live in it. We understand. That is where the problem is, and that is where SACR is saying. In fact, that is where South African citizens are saying that's where the problem is. And the gampoka lo bhuti lo, niyamazi lo bhuti lo, ukuthi ashintshe story manje. We understand. Bayanwa nje lapha eqembini lakhe right now. Bafayithela leyo nto leyo ukuthi wena wangena uvimba abantu lapha eLimpopo River. Namuhla uwe lo othi umuntu ozophuma ayomasha under this political banner or our political party, they are on their own. Kodwa wena wangena yini na istory sifike shintshe lapha akuyi olubuyayo eParliament, because once you are sworn in, you are swearing into the very same Constitution that South Africans are saying is problematic, that SACR is saying it doesn't really specify the relationship between the state's responsibility to its citizens. I understand. Zonke lezi zinto abantu base South Africa bathi ayishintsho, and we as SACR are promoting that. We understand. So mina ngithi aswathandeni amaqembu ezepolitiki futhi siwaseke, and I encourage everyone ukuthi athole somebody azomvotela ayomfaka lapha eParliament. We understand, because we do need abantu ukuthi participate in South African politics, but kufanele understand lokho as a South African ukuthi ayikho into engadeliver umuntu omthandayo beyond the Constitution. If the Constitution doesn't mandate development, if the Constitution doesn't prioritize South Africans, if the Constitution doesn't mandate indaba energy, if the Constitution doesn't even mandate indaba ye-employment, ngoba ama-lawyer, there are so many fraternities that are suffering. Odokotela baqashiwe. I-Constitution imithi imingasho ukuthi akuprioritize ama-South Africans kuyindaba zokuqashwa kwe-state. If i-Constitution isasho ukuthi hayi umuke 135 nje it's chai. Those are the things. Your political party alone cannot solve that without the highest law in the country backing them and supporting them in all of that. So mina nje ngiya-encourage guys to continue to have political discourse, but u-SACR is not a political party. You understand? And no political party should feel threatened by u-SACR, because u-SACR uyi-civil movement, ukhuluma ngeindaba zabantu, usupporta into eshiwo abantu on the ground, futhi abantu support u-SACR because of ama-values abo. We understand? Empeleni, it's a very symbiotic relationship. It is symbiotic. We understand? Ngithembe ukuthi ni right lapha emakhaya, ngisawubabona nami ngale kwamlungu, but I hope this message really travels and lands well, ukuthi nathi sizazoyivotela abantu esifuna ukubavotela, kusazoba mahliphi sisazoyixoxa futhi indaba yokhetho. But join me tonight, because we are live tonight at 8, sizodiscussa i-preamble, 3 submissions that South Africans said bafuna ukuthi ashintshe kwi-constitution, and all of them fall under the preamble. We understand? Ngicela ke ukuthi nisijoyine ngo-8, kuzobe kumnandi, sizobe sixoxa, sizobe sidiscussa, and we want everyone there. And mina vele ngisazafisa ukuthi siyivule inkundla for political parties, ukuthi basichazele ukuthi kulezi zinto u-SACR nabantu base South Africa bafuna ukuthi ishintshe, bona babona ukuthi bazosiseka ngakuphi. Understand? Because we're not an enemy of anyone. Honestly speaking, we are in fact nje singama South Africans, we're very passionate about leli zwe, sifuna futhi ukulibona liba noshintsho olu tangible.
We were climbing and shooting. Come on, again. Come on, again. I'm sure those. Hey, kumnandi kanjani esatheni, kumnandi kanjani esatheni, izandla phezulu, izandla phambili, kumnandi kanjani esatheni, kumnandi kanjani esatheni, izandla phezulu.